West, man, like they are white taking nails, shorty. You already know how the fuck I'm coming. 24/7.
Palace, when you cooking.
As long as they hit me, shorty. On the almighty. Look, I be up in the booth cooking shit in the stew, cooking shit like some stew, what you call that? 90s baby, I'm all that. If I miss the call and it's money, I call back. Shorty text me in all caps, all up in my business, baby, get for my balls at. Tuning into the podcast, principal, perspective, preparation, it's all that. AP3 should be broadcast, cause Kelvin, Lancer, John, they talking all facts. And whatever you think, we done thought that.
Welcome, YouTube, Principles, Perspective, and Preparation. That's the channel on YouTube and the Nation Builders Facebook page. We're streaming live. My name is Kelvin. I'd like to welcome you all again to another episode of the P3 Podcast. I'm sitting here with Trouble Man. What's good?
What's going on, man? How y'all feeling? Brother Lance, I see you be jamming like I do on that intro, man.
Yeah, man. Yes.
It's a keeper.
It's contagious, man. It's contagious.
Man, ain't it though? So what's up, Lance?
Nothing, man. What's going on with you gentlemen tonight?
Not much, man. We got a good show topic lined up for tonight. I'm ready for some really interesting conversation about this. You know, I know where everybody stands on this, but to get it out there, it's gonna be a doozy. We gonna see what it do. Before we even start, though, I want to give a special shout out and a thank you to the brother Andre Clay Bennett over there at the Reset. He let us come on this show. He had Trouble Man on this show last week to give his perspective and just that P3 touch to it, and it was a good show. It was a a hell of a show.
Indeed it was.
Yes, sir. Much gratitude, Mr. Clay.
Yes, sir. You got a good thing going on over there. So if anybody want to check out this show, it's called The Reset. It's on Facebook, and it's Sunday. What time was it?
6, I believe. 5 or 6, I forgot.
Was it like 5 or 6? I think it was 4. Was it 4? 4 o'clock.
Could have been, yeah.
I think it's 4 o'clock Central. So if anybody got the time on Sunday, you're sitting around and you're listening to, or we're ready to get into some interesting conversation, check out my man Andre Clay Bennett over at the Reset. But for tonight, let's just go ahead and put it out there. We talking about interracial relationships. You know, and we went back and forth over this topic. You know, we kind of slimmed it out a little bit, got the fat out of it, and just put it out there. Can one be pro-Black and still maintain an interracial relationship? And when we say interracial relationship, that doesn't mean just Black and white. That could be Black and Latina,
whatever,
or Latino, whatever, whichever way you're swinging, or Asian, or whatever it is. You know, let me go ahead and start. Speaking for myself, I think you can. I think it's possible. I think it's kind of unlikely depending on where you stand in terms of being pro-Black, because that has to be a special kind of person to empathize with your situation being in the Black community. It takes a strong person to be able to empathize and want to learn and want to support you in everything that we go through, because Lord knows we go through a bunch of shit every day being Black. I've seen it work. Well, let me put it this way. I've seen it working. You know, we really don't know if it works until the day you die, but the day you die together. But I see it working. You know, I know a number of brothers, and we could go back to that point where it's more brothers dating more women outside the race than it is Black women dating more people outside the race. But I've seen it work. I think it's working for some. Now we can question how pro-black these men are. You know, maybe that's where we need to start the conversation. But I've seen it working, you know, and I think it can work if you get the right mix between the two people, you know. What are your thoughts on that, Trouble Man?
Well, I agree with you. I definitely know because I've known several relationships that are successful to this day, raised great successful children. You know what I mean, and blah blah blah. And if you ask me, the question is, shit, because like you said, during some of these marches, you know, you seen everybody out there except for us. It's a lot of folks out there more pro-black than black
Yeah,
folks are. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you know, I just have to think that in order for a black man to be outside of his race, she should be pro-black as well. You know what I mean? Because if she ain't pro-black, how is she down for you? You know what I mean? If you with this woman and if she ain't pro-black, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, because I just it just seemed that that's just got to be. You know what I mean? That just got to be a given. You know that she is pro-black. You know, so the question
Mm-hmm.
would be if this brother or this sister should to turn out to not be pro-black, then what caused that to take place? Is it because they already got this self-hatred? You know what I mean? And that's why they
Mm-hmm.
sought the partner they sought, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know nobody, you know what I'm saying, unless they being led off to the, you know what I mean, to be tricked, is going to pretend to like a brother, you know what I'm saying, and take that brother around other people, you know what I mean? Ain't no race doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's unless they taking you off to hang out with Willie Lynch now, you know, it ain't gonna happen. You know,
Right.
so I just think that I think it can happen, and like I said, I don't see any way that you wouldn't be pro-black because your woman have to be pro-black in order to be with your black ass. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. We
it's
got people
a
coming in on the
situation.
chat already. We got people
Oh,
coming in on
really?
the chat already. We got one that say no and no excuses.
No
Before we even
excuses.
get to you, Lance, let's get through some of this chat we got going on. You know, we got another Facebook user coming from the Nation Builders Facebook page, and they said negative.
Right.
I would assume that to mean not ever. We got one more comment coming in from the Nation Builders Facebook page. Nation Builders on it today.
Yeah.
They say you think no compromises, sir. You can have a healthy families and friendships, but can't ever be considered pro-black. You know what? That comment right there, I get where the Nation Builder member is coming from, but you know, I've been hearing a lot about what's the brother's name on YouTube? The big dude who tried to start the school and stole all the damn money.
Umar Johnson.
Umar Johnson. Yeah.
Allegedly, he's like a descendant of Frederick Douglass.
Right.
He's always confronted with even Frederick Douglass at the end of his life had a white wife who was a former abolitionist. I believe that was in 1884. 1884. 20 years his senior. Now there's a dichotomy to that situation. 20 years his senior. Is it more likely that younger people are more in tune to having interracial relationships than the older generation? Could that be part of it?
You know why? Because the experience. But first, before I get into that, let's throw out a little data here. And I got this from Pew Research Group. And the last study was done in 2015. 18% of Black folks intermarry. So 82% of us still marry one another. So let's put that out there. Majority of us, we still marry one another.
Okay.
Only about 18% of black people are married black people are in interracial relationships. So let's put that, and you can go research it. Is that
That's a big chunk.
but it's not. It's just 18. Some people think it's 50.
No, hell no. I wouldn't think.
See, but hey, if we got 18 out and we got 50% on the flag, dog, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying this.
And another half of us are children, so that's about another 15-30% we lost in the army. Dog, damn.
I'm just saying, 82% of us still marry one another. So black people marry each other at an 82% rate. Okay. So now we get into the different eras. If you were born back when black folks was catching hell, Jim Crow, and all them times, a lot of them ain't fucking with white folks.
Right.
They like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
Because
they gone though.
Yeah, because they see what your community do to me. So why would I rock with you?
Yeah.
So now, and then you got to add in the caveat that sometimes we don't want to pass down our history to let our kids educate our kids on, slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and we don't educate them on that. So they think that we all started the same.
Okay, so you're saying that a good percentage of the interracial relationships that we have is because of ignorance on our part.
So I ain't gonna say it's ignorance on our part.
And when I'm saying ignorant, I just mean the true definition of the word, not the slang. I mean, just not knowing.
I'm just
not knowing our history.
It's like they want to fit in. They think that we live in this utopia that, hey, we don't see color. Everybody's equal. Until she called him a nigga bitch or something. Until they get into it and she called the police on him.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he realized he a nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So what are we saying? Are we saying that where's your stance on that? Can an interracial relationship survive with one of the members being pro-black?
I don't think so. You can't, because I don't think anybody would really respect you. They won't respect. They be like, you talking black, but you sleeping white.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think
you also just changed the question up a little bit.
Did I?
Yeah, you just changed the question up a little bit.
How did I change it up?
If one of you was pro-black,
know,
that's a, but the original question is, can you remain pro-black in a interracial relationship?
Well, I thought it was stand the reason, because I don't think that a Caucasian person, or let me leave Latinas out of it right now, because the waters get muddy there. But let's just talk about blacks and Caucasians. I don't think a Caucasian could really be pro-black. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that can happen. I think they can support the black cause, or they may be able to sympathize with the black situation, but pro-black, I don't see that being.
And they only gonna go so far.
And they only gonna go so far. Many of them will only go so far. That's kind of like me saying that I can be pro-Caucasian. How does that look? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm saying that, can one be pro-black in an interracial relationship, I'm specifically talking about the black person.
Okay.
Can they continue to have their black Joan and be in a relationship or a marriage with a white person?
Right. Now, so you're saying that if they're in a relationship with a person that's not pro-black or supportive of black, I don't get how that.
Well, those are two different things. The way I think about it, I think you can be supportive of the black situation, but I don't think you can be pro-black. Pro-black, I believe, is a state of mind. You know what I mean? That's a state of mind. I don't think a white person can be pro-black because they didn't come up black. They don't have the same experiences and the nuances of things that we go through. So there's no way that a white person can be pro-black. I think they can be supportive of black folks in their situations and our life and our inequalities and the struggle that we go through. But in terms of being pro-black, I don't think that I would ever see a white person walk around with a kufi on or a dashiki on. I don't think that takes a certain type of mindset.
Okay, so in that case, you're saying that if a black person was outside his race, then he couldn't be pro-black for the simple fact that his partner can't be pro-black.
Well, I don't know. That's the question. I mean, are we saying Frederick Douglass wasn't pro-black? Are we saying that Colin Powell wasn't pro-black? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if we're taking that stance, that's what we're saying. And, and I'm not prepared to say that. I think that Frederick Douglass and Colin Powell and a lot of other strong black figures that were pro-black were able to maintain that and still be with a white spouse.
See, but like the brother Ilma pointed out, though, Frederick Douglass was married to a black woman for 50 years before.
Yeah, well, what difference does that make?
I mean, so
what difference does that make?
Maybe, and you said that he was her senior.
He was her senior. She was 20 years younger than him. Yeah,
right. Well, maybe he just said, to take care of his old ass when he got there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Instead of having a sister go through cleaning up that shit, he had a little payback. I don't know who the fuck knows, but I know that I cannot say that a brother like that was not pro-black, even if he was with a white woman at his old age.
So whatever his motivation was for marrying outside of his race, I don't think that has a negative factor on him being pro-black. Right. I don't think that wipes away his life body of work.
I'm about to say you got to look at his body of work.
Yeah,
look at his body of work.
I don't think you could do that. And for whatever you say, about Colin Powell, he was
he was married to a black woman though.
He was.
Yeah.
Right.
He just mixed, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's married to a black woman.
I was trying not to say Clarence Thomas. But yeah, I'm gonna leave Clarence Thomas out of it. Old pubic hair putting on the soda can type motherfucker. We got a lot of people in the chat. Let's go ahead and knock some of these out. Great point. Never met a pro-black Caucasian, but I've met tons of pro-white Negroes. It's a good way to look at it. It's a good way to look at it.
They ain't lying about that one.
Pro-black includes procreating with another black person. Having black interests is not the same. Are we saying that pro-black means procreating with another black person? I think that's the result of being with a black person, but I don't think being pro-black, ties you to procreating with another black person.
Yeah. Well, I love that next user because that's that lady there. She has been putting up a fight for about 40, 50 years.
But she don't believe in reparations, though, man.
A pro-black white, Miss J. Elliott.
Yeah, but when you talk about reparations, she get real hush mouth. She get real.
Well, I don't know. Do we know that? Because I do know some. I don't know. But I say all the time, the two most important teachers or professors that I had in my life were white, and I would think that they were pro-black. Just from the simple way that they taught at a HBCU. You know, so I would hope that she was pro-black. You know, are we saying that those type of individuals would automatically be against reparations because they're white? Is that what we're saying?
You got to ask them. That's what I'm saying. You have to, if you are for me, and I say, hey, you have to if you have to be an ally, you have to back what that I'm fighting for. So you can't, if I've laid out my defense about why black folks get reparations, don't hit me with, well, what about the immigrants? Don't hit me with no BS when you know what our people have been through.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. If you pro-black, I can't. If I see, I don't necessarily call white folks pro-black. They're more allies.
Yeah.
And they have to be. We have to be on one accord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when I tell you about my experience, I've had some people that say, you know when you guide, when some people on BS, they go, well, I don't see color.
No, that's bullshit.
Right.
Don't trust those people. Don't trust those bugs.
What about those whites with black babies? Do you think they could be trusted?
You know what?
The reason why I asked you that, because dig, in 08, before that election in 08, I was working with these two should be cool, John. These two Caucasian brides, right? Scumbags, you know what I mean? Talk about how they, love hooking up with this brother, that brother. One of them was married to a white cat, straight redneck out of Plainfield. And if he was back in the day, Plainfield ain't nothing like it is today. You know what I'm saying? If he was back in my day, you know what I mean? So I know this broad history, like I had to tell her, you know what I'm saying? I know where you from, you know what I mean? Plainfield ain't, it ain't always been as integrated as it is in 2007 right now. Because when was that when I was working there? I think it was 09, something like that, right before I went to Carolina. But anyway, the other chick had a black baby. You know what I mean? And we was talking about the election. And they was talking about what their parents had told them. These chicks was in their late 20s. And I told the one chick with the black baby, I said, well, I tell you what. I said, you can go with that good old shit that your parents been telling you all your life. But if you give a fuck about your son, you'll reconsider that vote. You know what I mean? And I said, look. And she looked and she shut the fuck up for the rest of the night. And I honestly believe she went and punched that Obama ticket. You know what I'm saying? Because because now you're looking at a mama and a daddy heartstring. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at their umbilical cord. You know what I mean? Yeah, they might have been brought up to hate. But if they're true to being a parent, true to being especially a mama, you know what I mean? How you gonna spit out something and then hate it forever and not go with it? You know what I mean? Yeah. If you can do that. Now, it's some wicked motherfuckers out there because once again, a lot of times that's their nature. Get mad at me if you like, But hey, I just haven't seen that happen a lot because a lot of the white chicks I know with black babies, Jack, and you was marching with a couple of them out there when the black was gone. You know what I'm saying? A couple of the white chicks you was with, it's because of their black babies. You know what I mean? And his brothers and sisters that was not out there. Yeah. So I mean, I gotta I gotta advocate for those that I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man,
I think that's why I said, I think we're all men, so I'm gonna just put it that way. If there's any black women who dated white men, please feel free to get in the chat and let us know about that experience. But from my experience, because I've dated quite a number of a white girl, quite a number. And some of them were good, some of them weren't so good, but I can understand how some white people can be supportive of their black man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it happen, and Others not so much. I left this comment up because the Nation Builders member, I think you kind of bugging on this. I mean, I understand where you going with it, but that last one is now if a white person can't be pro-black, how can we as blacks be pro-black and have a white wife or husband? Mr. Douglas needed companionship. We can put an asterisk by his name. Colin isn't pro-black, so we put an asterisk by niggas' names now, like the home run derby of a couple years ago.
I just say, look at the body of work. You know, Frederick Douglass risked his life, so you know, I there's no doubt. I know he was pro-black. Even Cornel West, he's married to a white woman.
He is.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yep. He's married to a white woman, but his whole work, his life's work, has been about
enriching and empowering black folks.
Yeah, folks. Yeah.
You know?
I don't think
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that we can question whether Dr. Cornel West is pro-black, and he has a white wife. Well, it can. That's what I'm saying. It can work, but I think it's up to the individual that you choose.
Yep.
And you don't think that his wife is pro-black?
I think she's very supportive of the black cause.
I think she's supportive of what he does.
Yeah. I think she's very supportive of the black cause.
Okay, but y'all don't call her pro-black. But that's not pro-black.
No, I just think she's an ally.
Jay Elliott highlights her own people's
That's what I love about America. That's what I love about America. It's the play on words. You know what I mean? It's 1,000 plays on words.
Who is Jay Elliott?
She's the lady that do these social studies about
the older
white lady. Yeah.
Older white lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought that was a Nation Builders member.
No. But see,
she the one that be going at the white folks about, white privilege and how, you know what I'm saying, open their eyes to the, you know.
But if you're married to you have to, if you with a white person like Brother Cornell, Frederick Douglass, and I'm probably missing some other, you got to go hard. You got to go hard, and you can't be. See, Cornel West has never wavered his message. Frederick Douglass has never wavered their message. It's always been full bore, 100 black folks. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
always. So you can't waver your message and talk black one day and then white another day, and you can't. Your message has to be consistent.
You know what? Now that we're talking about this, I know, John, to touch on the point that you had made earlier. You know, I was reading about the Frederick Douglass and his wife's. His Caucasian wife's union, and she never told anybody about it until they actually got married. Didn't even tell her own mother. Her mother had to wake up and find out about it when she read them on the newspaper. And a lot of reasons that put stress on those type of relationships is dealing with the family members.
Yeah.
The family members.
You see, but her family members, especially her dad and brothers, their greatest fears could never be brought to fruition because Frederick Douglass was castrated. You know what I mean? So he never really had intercourse with that lady. He couldn't have. He was castrated.
He was castrated.
Wasn't Frederick Douglass? Yeah.
No, you thinking about George Washington Carver.
Oh, my bad. Right. Yeah. George Washington Carver.
Yeah, we talking peanuts.
I both was like, oh no.
He was.
I'm like, huh? 9.
He got about 20 years history.
Hey, man, I knew one of their brothers' shit was made out of sandwiches.
Yeah. Yep.
Since Jay Elliott is comparable to a P. Drugan, but not quite.
I don't know who that is. I gotta.
Are they talking about who I think
That's
they're
what I
talking
was
about?
talking about you was marching with. That's who was
What?
one of the people I had in mind. Now, Patty is one of the people that I had in mind that you was marching with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because her black baby, she was out there strong at all them protesters. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, Patty just got back from Selma over the weekend. So
Uh-huh.
so whoever trying to crack, you know, you go ahead and continue to crack because I done seen Patty out there at all of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where your
Yeah.
black ass at? You
Yeah.
know?
And that's
You at?
somebody that, and
You
I
know
don't
what I
know
mean?
I can't see the name of the person
I
who
don't know if they
posted that
call
comment.
themselves trying to swing at her or not, you know.
Well,
But
here's
it's
the thing.
they're trying to say, you know. But I'm gonna tell you like this, here, though, brother, because I wanted to get back to that. I'm this Jane Elliott. You know what I mean? Because they're saying that she's going at her own people in discretions, but she isn't pro-black. If she's anti-racism, Jack, how in the hell is she's not pro-black? If she's anti-against with all the shit that's been happening to us, she's speaking to her people, which is what we need. We don't need them telling us that you know what I'm saying, that they're sorry for the way we've been treated. Talk to your people, get them to change their fucking minds and their behavior. That's exactly what we mean. That's exactly what we need. So if that's not pro-black, I don't know what is, dog. You know?
Let me touch on that comment a little bit because when I hear stuff like that, that's disturbing to me. And this is why. A couple years ago, when all of those protests and marches were going on, there were a hell of a lot more people of other races out there walking them streets than were black people. So when I'm talking about pro-black, I mean somebody that will go all the way for their race and their
You
culture.
don't think these folks? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, dog.
I can't see the names of the people that are posting this, but I would say if you weren't one to stand up and be accounted for, I don't think that you could say anything negative or should say anything negative about any other race that was out there standing up and being accounted in your name when you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about being pro-black. A lot of people that claim to be pro-black, what have you done to solidify that? What have you done to exemplify that? A lot of people are saying that they're pro-black and they wouldn't go out, stand on the corner for
Scared of
nothing.
what their bosses or what their friends gonna see and say. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So we'll take the comments with a grain of salt. I understand where the user was coming from, and I don't want to minimize that. But let's keep in mind that most of the people that push for black equality in a substantive manner are not black. We do a lot of screaming and shouting and hollering, but when it comes up to going out there and standing up and being accounted for, taking the steps taking the steps to institute change, a lot of us don't do that. So
Dog,
go
let
ahead.
me tell you this here, and I'm dead serious when I say it. I know a whole lot of black on black relationships and marriages that are anti-black. You got to sit in here the way you talk about our children. You know what I mean? You got to sit and hear the way they put the people down. You know what I mean? Because they got a little something. You know what I'm saying? So I know more anti-black folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it said, and so you know, so and probably some of these folks hiding behind trying to, you know what I mean? I apologize to that user if I'm wrong, but I just
Yeah.
took that as, you know, somebody trying to swing at that young lady, and I just had to defend her on that point, you know.
Yeah.
But if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, I'm terribly sorry if I took that the wrong way. You was just throwing it out as a comparison, you know.
Okay, I know you all know her and it gave you a great analogy to go by. Okay, with that being the case, that's what's happening.
Right.
Because from what I understand,
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Yeah, it was a young lady that we grew up with back in the Brook. But from what I understand, I haven't talked to her and couldn't even tell you the last time. From what I'm understanding, she's a great advocate for Black equality and Black rights. So, shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Let's switch it up a little bit. We've tickled the idea of whether one can be pro-Black and maintain an interracial relationship. Let's take it a step further. Let's talk about marriage. And I know we said we wasn't going to talk about this. We wasn't going to cover this. We was just going to keep it strictly diggly. But it's only right that we take it to the next step. So what are you all's thoughts on interracial marriages being an issue in the Black culture? Is it an issue or is it not?
We at the time now, like I told y'all before, 18% of us that marry Black people, of married Black folks, marry somebody out of their race, and that's through Pew Research. I don't think it's an issue. I think the problem comes in is when somebody marries somebody out the race, they want a point of, and not all. I'm not saying absolute, but in some experience they say, well, I married this white woman because Black women do this, that, and white women do that. Or I married this Black man because white men do this, that, and white men do the same thing. Just say you married him because that's what you feel comfortable with. Don't sit there and try to down us because I just see that as you not being comfortable with your decision.
Yeah,
that's who you want to be with. Be with him. You ain't gotta knock nobody else.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And when you do that, and if you are, when you marry, now that brings in a whole different caveat of problems.
Yeah.
Some things you can't. Just in my opinion, you can't go as hard unless you got like somebody like Cornel West. He write books and he got the means. So if he go hard, he can still make a living.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Trouble Man?
I when it comes to marriage, I still say so. Because like I said, I'm gonna have to speak for myself, because if I should happen to go that route, she gonna definitely have to be damn near Afro man, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Asian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, white chick, whatever the fuck, it ain't gonna be no question that she down with me. You know what I'm saying? Because if she's my wife, it ain't gonna be no motherfucking question that I'm down for her. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit goes out the window, that black-white shit, once you call yourself marrying someone. You know what I mean? But by all means, understand that, I don't give a damn how well you love, your Uncle Yang or Uncle Buck or Uncle whatever the hell he is. If that son bitch got a problem with my people survival and prosperity, then they got a problem with me. You know what I mean? Because we're at the bottom of the fucking bottom. We ain't even made it to the bottom yet. We so far at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't with the advancement, you know what I'm saying? I can't fuck with you, period. If you're against it, then stay the fuck away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have plenty Caucasian friends, dog. And they know I'm as pro-black as they motherfucking ass gonna ever see. And those that are real ain't got a lick of problem with it. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what it'll be. Their problem, not mine, because I'm not changing up at all. You know what I'm saying? At all, dog. So when it comes to marriage, you should be down for your spouse. You know what I'm saying? And that's when all that color shit goes out the window for sure. You know, especially if so like I say, the only, you know what I'm saying, it's crazy because there's no threat for being white and in an interracial relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like white folks, chances are ain't gonna bother the white folks. You know what I mean? For being in an interracial relationship. But if a brother or sister brought someone white, let's say to the neighborhood picnic or some shit unannounced, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's gonna be size and shit at the white picnic, but it's gonna be confrontation at the black picnic. You know what I'm
You think
saying?
so?
You know what I'm saying? You more liable to have a confrontation, especially if that brother got an ex-bride up in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
And
that
it
other
ain't
thing.
that, and it's not that sisters can't control their emotions or anything like that, but it's just that women, man, they have forever been neglected and unprotected. You know what I'm saying? The shit run deep, dog. That a
Yeah, the
lot of
shit
folks
run
would like
deep.
to think
They
about.
like you.
You know what I'm
They
saying? That
like
a
we
lot of
have no.
folks would like to think about. Huh?
They like we have no resources, and now you taking our men, huh?
But
Right,
but
right.
to speak on that point real quick, I've seen a lot of brothers bring white girls around the homies and their families. I haven't seen of a lot of it going the other way around, where black girls were bringing white guys, to the homies or whatever. But I've seen a lot of times where there's a black guy that's dating a white girl and he would bring her around the homies. And I don't ever remember there being an outward confrontation about that. And I think the reason for that is because even to our own detriment, a lot of times, we're a very forgiving people. We're very loving people. We're very accepting, even to our own detriment at times. So I think it's more likely that a black guy could bring a white girl to the event, and though there may be some whispers in the gallery, some undertones, conversations going around, I don't think I've ever seen a situation where there was a confrontation about a white girl being around a lot of black people. I've never seen it. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I've never seen it.
Or they'll just ice them out.
They'll just ice them out. You know what I'm saying? But while they icing them out, there's a whole bunch of other brothers scheming on trying to holler at the white girl behind the brother's back. I bet you a lot of that's going on. We got another comment from the Nation Builders member. He says they say no issue. Most of us marry within our own race. Just don't shit on your own race when doing so.
Exactly.
Chances are, if a person marries outside of his race and shits on his race, he was doing that before he got married. He was just that type of guy. He was never pro-black to begin with.
No.
Right.
We must go with
pro-self. Pro-self. That's it.
We got another comment says we must go with what works. There's great mixed marriages. I believe that to be true. I got people that are in mixed marriages in my family, and they go through all the problems that you go through if you were in a marriage with somebody of the same race, and they work it out. I think it's about who you marry and how you two connect.
And they must accept you for you.
And they got to accept you for you. You know what I'm saying? So I see it all over the place. Like I say, I got mixed marriages in my family. I got friends that are involved in mixed marriages. And I see them working to be a good thing. I think it's much harder to find somebody that, you can spend the rest of your life with as a partner, as a life partner, when you start cutting out different people because of the color of their skin. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I can respect people have other opinions about that, but the bottom line for me is just find somebody to be fucking happy with. Find somebody that you can be happy with. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all here's a funny story. I never told y'all about this story. Let me clear the board. So I tell y'all about this shit right here. I was dating back in I guess it was 2020 when the uprisings were going on about all the black killings, and the marching was at a fever pitch. I was living with a white girl at this time. I was in a relationship with a white girl at this time. And we were living in Northwest Indiana. And yeah, she had a plan to go on the trip for months and months and months. She was going on the trip to see her friends. And this particular week, I don't know what was going on in Indiana, but the white people decided to stage counter protests. So this morning that she was planning to go on her trip out of state, there were white guys lined up all up and down Calumet Avenue, which was 2 blocks away from my crib, lined up with rifles and shotguns and machine guns. I mean, they just had the whole Calumet Avenue blocked off. Do you know that this bride got her ass up and went on her trip?
Yeah.
Not thinking, you know what I'm saying? Not thinking that, hey, I'm going to leave my man here to deal with this, knowing that
That's your problem.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
She thought about it.
She probably did think about it. But
she thought about it.
And the thing was, we were arguing at the time. We were arguing at the time, so I don't know really what her thought process was. But I tell you that story to say, just because you're in a mixed relationship doesn't mean that it's a good one or one that'll last. I mean, those are just like any other relationships. I mean, just like we do each other wrong, black man, black woman do each other wrong, a black man, white girl, white man, black girl, they'll do each other dirty the same way. But here's a situation where it's like, you might as well stop dating this person because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You understand? And she couldn't understand why I kicked her to the curb when she got back. She couldn't understand why I kicked her to the curb. So there's somebody that's out of touch with the black situation. So that's what I was saying when I was saying earlier. I don't think that a white person can be pro-black, but I think they can be supportive.
An ally. Exactly.
An ally. If that person was supportive of the black situation, there was no way that you would leave your black partner there to deal with racist white people standing on your block with guns.
By yourself.
And rifles. By yourself. To deal with that by yourself. So it's not all peaches and cream. You dig? It's not all peaches and cream, but when it works, it works. But I can say the same thing in terms of black relationships. When the black relationship works, man, it works. It really works. You know what I'm saying? There's something on the next dimension involved in that. That really works. But when it's bad, man, it's fucking bad. Man, it's bad. So it all boils down to who you're dealing with.
Yeah, when it's good, it's all good. That's what most think. And when it's bad, it's just terrible.
We're saying allies or administration.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Nation Builders member, hit us back and kind of clarify that for us a little bit. Allies or administration.
I just think, like I said, I don't want people to think that nothing is absolute. There's nothing is absolute. We're not saying that, no. But like your story, I saw this I saw this one meme on Facebook, and it sums it up. This chick said, "Yeah, don't get." How did she say it? She said, "Don't get if you like black penises, but you don't want to be bothered with black issues, something like that." And
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's a lot of that going around.
I'm like, yeah, you can sleep with us and have sex and all that, but when we have issues and like, hey, you're gonna support this policy or something like that, well, I don't believe in that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was, hitting on without getting too grimy when I said that a white man could bring a black woman around without no trouble. Because chances are that's what the white men are looking like, and that's chances are that's what he's feeling. Hey, look what I got here. You know what I mean? And they've always felt privy to, felt like they're just possessions. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But I've seen a lot of sisters get mistreated after bragging about this Billy Bob. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and get done
There's a
over.
lot of
Yeah.
shit they don't tell it because they make the same mistakes that black dudes, thinking that all you know what I'm saying, there ain't no bad white guys out there. No,
Have
there's
you heard
dicks
the
and
story?
assholes everywhere, every flavor. You know what I mean? That shit come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. So for
Have
you to
you
get out there and say, well, I just hate all black men because they this, and that, then you fuck around and run into a white boy and realize this motherfucker, not only is he like that, but he hates my fucking ass. You know what I mean? Ooh, can you imagine facing that evil? You know? And I'm sure they do. Most of them do. That's in them relationships.
but haven't you seen? Well, I don't know if you've seen, but there were some stories reported during the year that young black women have hooked up with white guys and they end up dead. There's a case
Yeah.
right here in Illinois.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
police officer. As a matter of fact, he was a CPD. The girl ended up dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to investigate.
No. That's because they feel like it's their, you know what I'm saying? That's their privilege. It's their privilege. You know what I mean? Now we should hold a show that asks the question: do you really think that white men really respect black women? My answer would have to be no.
No, I don't think
They'll
so.
never fully have respect, even if they marry them. You know what I mean? Because we see how the majority of them treat their wives anyway, the ones that look like their moms. You know what I'm saying? And you know
Look at
how they
Candace
talk to their
Owens.
mothers, so imagine what they be saying to their black wives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
Look,
gotta
look
be
at look at
a
Candace
terrible
Owens. She married to a
situation.
white boy,
Who that?
and she don't. I said Candace Owens. She married to a white boy, and she don't.
Yeah.
And she don't act like she black, no way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think her mirror might do a mirage to show her white.
Oh, she probably been passed around the Senate, man. Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling what they'd have done with that little sister, Condoleezza. You know what I mean? Man, them white fraternities, boy, they get vicious. And do you want to be a member of them and a black woman at that? And
Yeah.
it almost turns my stomach just to even think about what them sisters got to endure up there on that hill with them vicious, foul, maggot motherfuckers. You know, I can only imagine the fucking mistreatment, dog, and the comments. They got to turn around. What the hell you just say? And then you got 10 other motherfuckers like, oh, I ain't heard nobody say shit. No, good and damn well, motherfucker just said that shit to that lady. You know what
That
I
was
mean? But
Biden
now
that
you
said
got
that shit.
right. You know what I mean?
But then some people keep themselves in that same environment, though. That's what I don't understand. Remove yourself from that environment.
For the money. For the money.
They want you sit there, and this is black men and black women. They stay in these environments that are no good for them.
That's why all the women in power right now, and all the women that they trying to put in power right now, are either lesbians or married to white guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
And because
You
yeah,
think
you look at
you think Angela
Kamala.
Davis' ass sister gonna get a position anywhere? No, sir. No, sir.
You got Kamala. You got the Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
She married to a white guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court, the new nominee for the Supreme Court is married to a white guy.
Yeah.
White men have always had full access to black women ever since slavery days.
No doubt. No doubt.
True that.
Yeah.
True that.
No doubt.
You know, I didn't know about the Supreme Court justice. Not that, you know.
Yeah.
But then look at her. To our point, look up the case she did with Lockheed Martin.
I know you were speaking on that the other week. You was passing on that information to another brother. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what happened with that?
Well, I'm gonna give you the Cliff's Note version, but I'm just saying. Look how Clarence Thomas rules. Look how some of the things that Kamala Harris did, and this one Supreme Court justice. Well, to give you the Cliff Notes version, the Supreme Court justice, she was a federal judge. Some people were suing, these black employees were suing Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. I think that's how you say the name. Yeah. Big military contractor for the United States government. Well, they treating their black employees like pure shit. Matter of fact, a black woman got killed in there after she repeatedly went and told the management that one white boy, he was racist, talking about that he was gonna kill her one day, and ended up killing her. So it was just rampant in there. So they had, from my understanding, they had them over the coals. So it was up to Lockheed Martin had agreed to a settlement, a multi-million-dollar settlement. It went to her. She was the judge. She wouldn't okay it. And her ruling was because, they would give up their rights and all that. And she gave a lot of mumbo jumbo. And then she ended up holding the case so long that lawyers couldn't come back, and they couldn't come back and do something. But basically, she prevented these people from getting a major lawsuit from Lockheed Martin.
I'm not surprised.
Right, because she cashed in a major check. That's terrible, man.
So yeah,
our own folks do us the worst, man. That's why I love Harriet and Nat. They philosophies, they basically said we got to get rid of all these niggas, man, in order for black folks to survive.
But to the point of the topic of the show, she married to a white person, and she couldn't even be black on that lawsuit.
Right.
So, I'm not again, let me put this out there. I'm not saying absolute, but in situations like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not in their house and I'm not in their bedroom or nothing like that, but I tend to believe her husband had some say in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they married, you would think he did, you know what I'm saying? But, I was taking a look at it, and I know times are changing, and statistics prove that. Back in 1950, the approval rate for interracial marriages, y'all want to take a guess on what that percentage was?
2-3%.
You're right on it. It was 5%.
Yeah, I think about
America's approval rate for interracial marriages back in 1950 was 5%. Year 2000. You want to take a guess on what the approval rate for Americans was? And I think porn has a lot to do with this. Let me put that out there.
But 80%.
There you go. 80%, right on the nose. 80% of Americans approve of interracial marriages. And I think porn has a lot to do with it.
Porn.
You say porn. Porn got a lot to do with it. What about porn? What part
It'd be
about
the best
porn?
clips. It'd be the best clips, but that's another show.
I'm not surprised, and it's funny that a lot of people don't teach our history.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Nation Builders member chiming in saying, I have daughters who find white men attractive, and one is engaged to this nice white kid. We must love them and carry on. That's what's up. I hope that your daughters end up being happy, and much luck to them. But again, I will hope that they look at this person's soul if they're talking about partnering up for the long haul and doing the damn thing in terms of marriage, because like we said earlier, when it's good, but when it ain't good, good. Somebody might go to jail. It's going to be the darker person.
And it may not, and it may end nasty.
It may end nasty, but we wish whoever that Facebook user
wish them the best. I wish them the best.
We wish you all the best. We wish your daughters the best, and that's what's up. I could dig that.
Blessings, much blessings.
I could dig that. That's what's up. We appreciate everybody tuning in for this segment and contributing in the chat. We had a lot of responses. Some of them we couldn't get to. We apologize for that, but hey, we'll do better. Final words, Trouble Man?
I say just get out, man, and love. Nobody wants to be alone. You know what I mean? Everybody got their idea of who they want to be with. And sometimes you ain't even got a clue who the hell that person might be, So I say, don't deny yourself love if it come your way. Do what you do
right.
and go with it. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Damn right. Final words, Lance?
Don't compromise who you are. Be who you are.
Yeah.
If you are, and if your partner or whoever they are, they can't accept it, then never compromise. Walk in your truth.
Yeah.
And
right.
And there's nothing. That's who you choose to love. That's who you choose to love.
Yeah.
But don't change yourself to be with somebody because they're of another race and you think that by marrying them your life gonna be easier. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
You still a black person in America.
The one thing that I would say is know yourself. Know who you are. Have a good grasp of who you are as an individual before you choose to get into these serious interracial relationships. Because once you're in it, the true you is going to come out sooner or later. So know who you are, and by all means, try to be happy. That's what it's all about. Nobody wants to die alone. If somebody telling you that they do, they fucking lying to you. That's not what we're here to do, to be alone. That's not what we're here to do. And if race is playing a part of you being alone, then maybe you got some shit mixed up. You need to rethink of why you're here, why we're all put here. So with that, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the Principles, Perspective, and Preparation. We appreciate you. Go with love, and we'll see you one more again next week. How about that?
See you next week. Later.
Hey, real quick, can I actually do something?
Yeah.
That last question. When are we gonna get that channel up? It says, y'all have Patreon?
Yeah, Patreon coming soon. The thing with Patreon is we want to give you strong content because that's a subscription-based platform. So we want to make sure that you have enough strong content on that channel that you feel worthy in paying a subscription to see us on. Because we're gonna bring it hard. We want to have a lot of different things for people to get into. So it's taking a little bit longer to get up and going than we wanted it to, but that's just because we're working feverishly to make sure that we have enjoyable, good, informative content to provide for you. So that's how that's going. But we will be announcing it on the Nation Builders Facebook page. We'll be announcing it in our upcoming podcast, and it's not long off. But best believe we're working to get that in order.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the comment.
Peace and
Thanks
love.
for tuning in, and we'll see y'all again next week. How about that?
All right. Later.
LA SOS, man, like they ill while you taking nails, shorty. You already know how the fuck I'm coming. 24/7.
Palace, when you cooking.
As long as they hit me, shorty. On the almighty. Look, I be up in the booth cooking shit in the stew, cooking shit like some stew, what you call that? 90s baby, I'm all that. If I miss the call and it's money, I call back. Shorty text me in all caps, all up in my business, baby, get for my bars and tuning into the podcast. Principal, perspective, preparation, it's all that. AP3 should be broadcast, cause Kelvin, Lance, and John, they talking all facts. And